Wow, I can't believe I'm actually doing this. My name is Alma and I actually used to do videos back in, I can't even remember, maybe 2014. Anyway, today I thought I would just do my makeup and try to talk at the same time. I have no plan, I have no script. I have no idea what I'm actually doing, so it's gonna be interesting. And I'm also dog sitting, so that's why there's a little dog here. I'm using the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden to prime my eyes. And as I said, my name is Alma. I am 22. I live in Stockholm in Sweden, and I'm a photographer. I have my own business, but currently I am working 4 days a week at a grocery store company where I do mostly like product, e-com photography. So that's like what I do. And as I said, I work there 4 days a week. When I'm not there, sometimes I assist other photographers, and I think that's really fun. So I want to do that more, like when I have the time. Product photography is not my passion, it's just what I'm currently doing right now. I love to shoot concerts and like portraits of musicians and like other creative people. So that's like what I want to do in the future. Oh, and I primed my face with the Lumene Invisible Illumination Instant Glow UV primer. It has SPF 30, which is really good, and it gives a very nice glow to the face. I've lived in Stockholm for 3 years, and I did shoot some concerts before I moved here, but I grew up on the west coast of Sweden, and like not many people come to play in cities on the west coast because everyone just comes to play in Stockholm, so there's not a lot of concerts to actually go to. So basically I hadn't done very much concert photography before I moved here, but I knew that it was something I wanted to do because, well, I love music, and live music is the best thing there is. When I got here, I got in touch with some web magazines, and then I was in, and I've been shooting a lot of fun concerts in these 3 years. My favorite concerts to shoot, like the most fun things, have been Lollapalooza this year in Stockholm. It was a lot of fun because I got to shoot so many different artists, and it was just an amazing weekend. It was 3 days. It was sunny and warm. It was just so great. And during Lollapalooza I got to shoot the 1975, which is like one of my absolute favorite bands, and it was just surreal. I can't believe, like when I see those pictures that I did take during their show, I mean I can't believe I actually was there and took those photos. And I also got to shoot Billie Eilish, which was so cool. It was the craziest show ever. There were so many people, and she was just so great. And like she started off her set with Bad Guy, I think, and it was the craziest thing ever because I couldn't hear the music because people were singing along so loudly. It was mental. Now I'm using the Dream Street palette from Colourpop. It's a collab with Kathleenlights, my favorite YouTuber. And I'm using this color right here. It's called Shooting Star. Just to like have something to blend with. I actually don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this color called Spark. Is that right? Yeah, Spark. This red color. And just build it up in my crease. Anything, I just think I need to have something I can do when I get home from work. That is like, I've been doing photography for 10 years now, I think, so I mean, it's my hobby that turned into my job, and it's weird when that happens because I mean, I was so used to like being very creative all the time, trying to learn new things. Like from 2013 to maybe 15 or 16. Yeah, for like 3 years I was so extremely creative. Like I took photos almost every day. It's very hard to talk like while you're doing your makeup, I'm sorry. But basically I was very creative for 3 years. I took photos almost every day. I was blogging every day, and then after high school I applied to go to college, maybe uni. I don't know what you call it. In Stockholm. So I moved to Stockholm in 2016 to go to uni to study to become a professional photographer. Basically, you don't have to study to become a photographer, but that's what I wanted to work as a photographer. So basically I felt like that was the right step for me to like apply to a school. I moved to Stockholm with my best friend who also went to the same school as I did, and basically my creativity just crashed. I did the stuff we had to do for school, but I almost stopped making stuff outside of school. Like I just lost my creativity. I can understand now why that happened, because I had done so much for 3 years. Like I was on a high for 3 years, and then I just crashed. Like I did stuff, of course. I planned some shoots, but I never felt like I was never really happy with what I created. But that's when I started doing concert photography as well, because I got in touch with the magazine and they liked my photos, so I started shooting for them, and it was so much fun because when you do concert photography you never know what's gonna happen. You come to a show and you have no idea what the lighting is gonna be like, you have no idea what the artist is gonna be like, and how many other photographers are there in the pit, and basically you know nothing until you get there. I mean, that's the fun of it for me. Like I have to create something with like barely knowing anything other than what is this artist I'm gonna shoot today. Concert photography is very much about documenting stuff, but then there's room to be creative as well, because you wanna, if there's 5 or 10 other photographers there, you wanna create something that stands out to their photos. So I mean, that's the hard part. It's the fun part. I have no idea where I'm going or if this makes any sense. But anyway, I'm gonna add this shadow called Blitzen, a super shock shadow from Colourpop, and I love it. I'm just gonna add it with my finger. So basically, I still feel like I'm not there yet with my creativity. Now that it's kind of my job. It's so surreal that I actually work as a photographer now, because it's been my dream since I was like 15. So it's very weird and also amazing. But I feel like I need to do something else to get my creativity going again. And I feel like we don't talk so much about losing our creativity. You just see everyone else being so creative all the time, and it sucks because you're in a rut yourself. I'm just adding some more spark to my crease. Maybe I should deepen the... I like it like this, but maybe I should have something to deepen the... But let's talk about music instead. I'm gonna add... what's this called? Elfish. It's a dark brown. I love music. And that's why I wanted to get into concert photography. I went to my first big concert in 2015, I think. I went to see Imagine Dragons in a big arena in Stockholm, and it was an amazing experience. It sounds so dramatic, but it was like what I'd been waiting for my whole life. Live music is so great. And when I lived like where I grew up, I didn't think I'd ever like see all of my favorite bands live, because it takes like 6 hours to get to Stockholm where everyone comes to play. It just felt so far away from me, and Stockholm was so big, and I was just, it felt like it was never gonna happen. But then I went to see Imagine Dragons, and it was amazing. And that was 2015, and then I moved to Stockholm in 2016. And since then, I take every chance I get to go to a concert. I'm gonna use this foundation. It's the Loreal Infallible Fresh 24-hour Fresh Wear Foundation. And I am in the shade 120 Vanilla. Since the first time I saw Imagine Dragons, I've been to, like, I don't know how many concerts I've been to, but after that, like, a whole new world opened up for me. It was just magical. There's no other way to describe it. The year after, like the summer of 2016, I went to my first festival, and it was Bråvalla Festival in Sweden, in Norrköping. I didn't have money to go, so I went as a volunteer. And I was basically documenting the work of the volunteers. So I was a photographer there, but I didn't do any concert photography. I was just taking photos of the other volunteers. I got to choose when I wanted to work, so I could go to the shows I wanted to see. Because sometimes when you volunteer, you have to be, like, if you're a security, then you have to be places at certain times, but I didn't have to do that, so that was very good for me. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in 15. Yeah, so I got to see some of my favorite bands. I got to see Bastille for the first time, and it was amazing. I was front row. And I cried the whole concert. I just couldn't believe I finally got to see them, because then I started listening to Bastille in 2013, like the summer that Pompeii got real big. That's when I started listening to them. So I'd been a big fan of them for 3 full years before I finally got to see them live. I mean, I was so grateful. I know some people don't get to see their favorite bands ever, so I was so grateful, and I couldn't believe I was front row at that concert. It was just magical. And I also got to see the 1975. I was almost front row with my friends, but then 15 minutes before the show started, people started pushing each other, and I was just feeling like I was gonna be suffocated. So I went out of the crowd. I stood like on the side, and it was good. I mean, I wasn't with my friends because they were, of course, in the front row, but I had a good time. I don't mind like going alone to concerts. I usually, I mean, I feel safe even if I'm alone. I was fine. I had a great time. So I'm just gonna set my face with the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores powder. And in August 2016, I moved my shit to Stockholm. And that's when I started going to like all the concerts I could possibly get my hands on. I spent all my money on concert tickets. So since like my first big concert in 2016, I've seen Imagine Dragons twice, in 2015 and 2018, I think. Does that make sense? Yeah, they're amazing live. I'm not a big fan of their new stuff. Like, I think they had their peak in 2015, 2016. That's when Smoke and Mirrors came out, and I feel like that's the best album they have. And now I just don't really know where they're going. So yeah, I've also seen Bastille 4 times now, which is crazy. I've seen them again in December. I've seen the 1975 3 times, and I'm seeing them again in March. I've also seen Paramore. I've seen 30 Seconds to Mars twice last year. I've seen so many. I just go to every concert I can. That's the thing. It makes me happy. And you should do the things that makes you happy. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Should I finish my eyes? So I'm just taking Shooting Star. I'm dragging it along my lower lash line. And yeah, I love like finding out new artists. Like last year, my friend told me I should listen to George Ezra's new album, like his latest album, Staying at Tomorrow's. And basically the only songs I'd heard by George Ezra before was Budapest and Blame It On Me. And I was like, yeah, I should. I'll listen to it. I'm all for checking out new music. And I ended up listening to that album the whole summer. And my friend came all the way from England to see George Ezra with me, and it was so much fun. So I'm just gonna take another brush. I just take this one that I used for the Spark shade again. And I do the same thing. Drag it along. So I think if I was gonna make videos on YouTube, I would talk about music, I would review new music, and yeah, I would just like talk about stuff that makes me happy, because I don't feel like I have a platform right now where I can actually talk about music as much as I want to. Because I mean, I post about music all the time on Instagram, and I have friends there that love music as much as I do, but I don't feel like those posts are as, like, people don't enjoy them as much as I do posting them. I don't care what people like. I mean, I'm gonna post what I like on my Instagram. It's my Instagram, so. But it's just, I wanna discuss music with people, and I feel like I can't do that as much as I want to. Elfish again, just on the outer corners. So this, like, what I'm currently listening to, like, I'm always listening a lot to Bastille and 1975. Those are like my top favorite bands. I love them so much. But I'm currently very much into Charlie XCX. I think her new album is amazing. I can't get enough of it. It's so uplifting and very good. And my favorite song on that album is, I think Gone is my favorite, with Christine and the Queens. I love that song. I don't know what it is about that song. I first like got into it because I saw the live lounge with Charlie and Christine. It was just so great. I saw they covered Two Time by the 1975, and it was a great cover, and I've been listening to it so much for the past couple of weeks. So then a week later, Charlie released her album, and it is amazing. She is actually playing in Stockholm in November, the 4th of November, and I am so tempted to get tickets. I haven't bought tickets yet, but I have some friends that are going, so I probably will get tickets. I probably will, but I haven't yet. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna take this bronzer called Private Party from Colourpop. There's a lot of Colourpop stuff in my collection right now, and I love it. It takes about 3 weeks for the stuff to get here from the States, but it's fine. I actually have a package coming in hopefully this week. I've ordered the new Kathleenlights palette, the So Jaded palette, and it is so beautiful. I can't wait to play around with it. Okay, and then I'm gonna add some highlighter. I'm gonna take this. Should I finish my eyes? I just realized I didn't do my inner corners. Hold up, let's just do them. This one, I think it's called Padded Down. Yeah, Padded Down. I feel like I should have made a script for this, because now I don't really know what I want to talk about. But it's my first video, okay? But I'm gonna take that same highlighter on my face, pat it down. Is that even showing up? Can you believe that if I actually had kept going with my YouTube videos back in, when did I say I did it? 2014. I might have actually gotten good at this. But now I'm just awkward. I'm gonna take some of this, My Sun and Stars this one. Is that nice? I'm also gonna take some of the Lunar Has It on top. Yeah, look at that. For brows, I usually don't do much because I feel like I have... My brows are pretty decent as they is, but I take this Morphe and Kathleenlights palette and then I use this shade, the dark brown. It's my perfect brow shade, and this palette is pretty old, but I don't care. I'm gonna use it anyway. And then I just like shape them a little bit. I'm so happy about my brows, honestly. I didn't know I had good brows until high school or something, because that's when people started, like when my classmates started getting into makeup. People started to give me compliments on my brows and I was like, thank you, I didn't know I had good brows. But now I do. That's not what a brow gel. And then I add some of the Maybelline Brow Drama. And I have this in medium brown. I was very close to getting the dark brown, but I am happy that I didn't. Because this is the perfect shade for me. Great. And then... I'm gonna tight line and do my waterline with this Linda Hallberg, or as we say in Sweden, Linda Hallberg core crayon. And I'm using the Lancome Monsieur Big mascara. I'm gonna set my face with Fix Plus. I think maybe my camera stopped recording, but now we're back. I'll take the NYX matte lipstick in Sable on top. And I'll take the Buxom full-on lip cream in white. Ooh, White Russian on top. Cool. That's it. So that is it for this look and I guess this video. So thank you for watching, for making it till the end, and maybe we'll see each other again. Bye. Bye.